Hey everyone, this is Josh from Visto.ai for another episode of Talent Tips. I'm here with Stephen Sargeant. Stephen, thanks so much for coming on the show today.
Thanks to you, Josh.
Can we start with a quick intro, Stephen? Love to hear more a little bit about yourself and what you're working on these days.
Awesome. So my background is actually in traditional compliance and AML. I worked at an international bank, HSBC, and I actually transitioned into cryptocurrency, working for one of the top cryptocurrency exchanges in the world, Bitfinex, for over 4 years. I've recently ventured out and done multiple projects, including becoming a recruiter. And now I work more on content creation and helping companies build up their blockchain investigations teams, because similar to developers, it's a very competitive market and there's a lot of supply and demand, but it's hard to find the right choice. So that's what I'm working on now.
Very cool, very cool. Can you give us three tips, Stephen, that you've had for somebody who's outside Canada looking to land their first job inside Canada?
Networking would be the first one. Is reach out to people that look exactly like you, your kind of job title, the role you want to work for, the companies you want to work for, and connect with them. Don't ask them for a job, just connect with them, get a better understanding of the landscape in Canada, because that information is going to be so useful when you're in interviews and when you're speaking to others. As long as you're keeping a real conversation, a genuine conversation, when something comes up, they're going to look for their friends first or people that they know first. Secondly, is always work on your communication and presentation skills. I've worked with a lot of foreign professionals, and unfortunately, a lot of the challenges and the hurdles come around language barriers. So anything you can do to brush up on your communication skills, there's Toastmasters around the world. Even just recording yourself doing a podcast is an excellent way to be able to present yourself and your skills. Lastly, I would show the future employers how easy this process is. As we discussed before the show, I think it's extremely hard to sponsor somebody. So I can only imagine what other companies think. But if you have a one pager or brochure that kind of shows the steps and the process, and you do all that hard thinking for them, and all they have to do is maybe check off a couple boxes, that makes you ahead of most of the other candidates that are just saying, please sponsor me. And the employer still has this myth that's extremely difficult to do so when it comes to developers or other tech people.
Yeah, that's really good advice. We've preached the last one especially too, and every company brings up communication, as you said. So being able to rock that is super important. Stephen, I know you're not in kind of traditional recruitment anymore, but any roles or companies or clients that are hiring that you maybe wanted to just give some exposure to?
Every crypto company is hiring in some capacity. Every tech company. What I would do is just Google top 100 cryptocurrency companies in a specific area. So Ontario, Victoria, other places within Canada, and they'll usually give you a list of all the crypto companies. I would go in. First, I would start building connections with some of the people that work there. Once again, not asking for a job, just building connections, understanding the work environment and the culture. Because it's one thing to get a job, but you actually want a job that fits you. There's no
Hmm.
sense coming all the way here and you're not happy with where you're landing, because then you're really stuck. It becomes really difficult to transition into another job once you're already here. So make sure it's the right fit, and then start going into the career sections of each of those pages. I'm sure when you go to the developer side, you're going to see a variation of different type of roles. Lastly, what I would do is actually create some kind of video, some kind of audio talking about my skills, talking about the industry. This podcast that you're doing is the best thing. It takes a lot of work, but you've already achieved a high level of kind of accreditation. Other people that podcast already respect you because they know how hard it is to kind of put yourself out there, record these podcasts, edit them. So one thing that these people can do is really take time to figure out a creative way that they can show off some of their skills talking to other industry professionals. Then when someone's looking for a developer, they've already kind of seen a wide range of what you can do.
Yeah, it's a great advice. Stephen, is there anyone in the Canadian HR talent recruitment people space that you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, one of my friends, Lama Yunus, she is one of the best. She's a foreign professional herself. She has a really great understanding of the mindset. A lot of this has to do with confidence and mindset when it comes to the interview and the application process. If you look desperate for a job, employers are going to pick up on that, and that's not going to hold you in high regard for the application process. So she really preaches a lot about mindset, about how to approach in a non-traditional factor, right? Everyone's just applying to hundreds of jobs, and then they get dejected and discouraged. but it's actually better time spent is connecting with people within the industry, getting a better idea of what's going on in the industry, and everyone's going to tell you exactly what what you need to know if you just listen. But because
Right.
everyone's looking for jobs, they're not listening to those special things that people are saying that would actually help them further their career in Canada. Another person is Clementine Crooks. She's on the West Coast. I believe it's in Alberta. She's a career and resume writer. She really gets how to take those transferable skills and apply them to Canadian jobs. And there's two all-star people, two amazing people to be around.
Very cool. I'll have to look them up. Stephen, thanks so much for coming on and sharing these great tips with us. If anybody wants to learn more about you or get in touch, where do you recommend they go?
LinkedIn. I'm there all day, every day, and twice on Sunday.
Okay, awesome. We'll link to that in the description. Stephen, thanks again for coming on the show. Really appreciate it.
Thanks so much, Josh. You're doing great work with this.
Thank you.